Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. Think about your long-term choices. Think about your ladies. You know what? I'm seeing this too much, and I don't know when this happened. I don't know. See, when I was coming up, women used to think long-term. You know, in general. There were always exceptions, many exceptions. But in general, women thought long-term. I don't see that as much now. I don't see that as much. I see women being in the moment, some of which I understand, but it's not good for you in the long run. Because here's what's happening. A lot of women are making bad choices. A lot of y'all making bad choices in a mate, even when you want them long-term. Because, let's be real, he's exciting in that moment. He sounds good at that moment. You know, he's saying some stuff that at least sound good to you in that moment. And unfortunately, since he sound good or he's saying what you want to hear, you ain't thinking about the long term. Ladies, you got to think about your long-term choices when you're dealing with a man. And I've said this before, it's nothing wrong when you going out with that man or you go on that date to ask him what his long-term plans are. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Because what I've always said, I said a man should at least have his own spot. His own spot, you know, house, condo, apartment, heck, a tent somewhere, if it's his own spot, right? You know, a vehicle if he's in a position he needs one, and a steady job. But something else I need to add to it, he should have a plan, right? So it's reasonable to ask him, okay, what you going to do long term? But also, even when you looking at him and you ain't thinking long term, you can still look at him and get an idea where he going by what he's presenting to you, not what he's telling, what he's presenting. And I know y'all can do it. But you gotta and the only way you can really do it is it can't be just that one date or that one time you saw him, you know, driving that nice car and saw him in a nice suit, you know. You got to think about when you're dealing with that guy, you can check out his long-term stuff. And especially, you know what, seriously, you can get an idea about him, especially in the day of social media. Most people got some social media. Most people got something that you get an idea. You know, not everyone, of course, but shoot, I mean, you can friend him on Facebook or something like that and see what he's done over the years, how many pictures he got, or even read what he's doing in the pictures. Right? But you got to think, okay, could this guy be long term? Now, I know y'all will get with some men. I definitely know the dude short term. And you know what? If y'all go into it with that attitude, that's actually cool if you know what you're doing. But see, a lot of times I get caught up with that guy and you ain't thinking long term. But then when he does some stuff, and you know, the most extreme is, you know, leave you with that seed, leave you with that baby. But he could also leave you with the STD. But then the worst thing, I'm going to say worse. The worst thing is he can leave you with some emotional baggage. Yeah, that's short-term pleasure led to long-term pain because, you know what, you can cure the STD. Most of them anyway. And a baby's never that bad, never. You know, so that ain't that bad a thing. But that emotional thing, you saw that guy, he was fine and everything, but emotionally, he can leave you with something for life. And even with therapy and stuff like that out here, the reality is that, you know, a lot of women can go to their deathbed. They can die without, dealing with the emotional baggage that was left. So, ladies, I mean, seriously. When you're dealing with a guy, you got to think about it. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you how deep this is. And this was before I got married. I meet a woman, they be ready to jump on it right away. They wanted the D right away. And I know most guys would be like, hey, Rom, shoot, I want to be like you. Nah, but I used to tell the women, I used to say, hold up. You just meet me. Why don't you take a month or so and determine that I'm not a knucklehead? I had to tell the women this. I said, hold up, because they be ready to go. And, you know, when I was even younger, oh, yeah, I'd go for it. I'd be like, oh, yeah, shit. You giving a 90 up like that? Heck yeah. But then as I got some wisdom, I was like, hold up, this woman don't know me. Because what I was finding, when y'all deal with some guy and y'all ain't really thinking long term, y'all expecting everything to be right there without knowing if you should even settle. And I told women, I said, shit, you don't know if you want to deal with me. I could be a knucklehead. I could be a straight up knucklehead. You know, you got to think long term. Like, you got to look at that guy and try to imagine what would he be like for 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You know, what kind of stuff does he do? What is he really doing? And I know a lot of y'all, and, you know, this ain't about, like, his potential and everything. What is he actually working on now? Like, he might not be a millionaire or even, like, a mere six figures when you first meet him, but is he working towards that? Is he a hard worker? You know, how much time does he have to spend with you? You know, because that's another thing. Some women get caught up in that moment and stuff, and, you know, as long as the guy's right there and can be around them, sex you up good, you know, you like, oh, yeah, you ignore everything. But I'm like, okay, but is that good for you long term? Is this the type of guy you can deal with when neither one of y'all feeling like sex? Because that's ultimately what any relationship, I tell the men this. Can you deal with that woman and sex is not y'all not having sex? That's how I deal with it. Now, if I deal with a woman and it's just sex, well, it's just sex. But if it's something more, you know, I'm like, okay, I can deal with it. So that's some serious stuff. But ladies, y'all gotta think. Y'all gotta think. And then y'all gotta be realistic when you doing it. Don't be thinking, oh, I can change him or something, because I know a lot of y'all be on that I can change him. But that's unacceptable, because he ain't going to change. Because let me give y'all some ladies a secret. Whatever the man did to get you, he ain't going to change up. He's going to feel consciously and even subconsciously that if he changes up, you'll roll out. So if he was an asshole or doing some crazy stuff when y'all got together, in most cases, he's going to stay there. You know, you got very few men who, honestly, and this bothers me, who are willing to grow from stuff. A lot of men ain't there, you know? So when you dealing with a man, try to get an idea, you know? Because I'm going to tell y'all something I would do. And trust me, Rom's had plenty of pregnancy scares. Too many, right? Yeah, I was out there. But one of the things I did consistently, I say 95% of the time, only dealt with women who, A, either had something to lose by actually being pregnant, or B, long term look like they could be a good parent and a fair parent. Because I was thinking long term, you know, and that's how y'all got to be that way. Y'all need to think, if you thinking that guy, you need to think, would this guy be a good father? You know, how does this guy treat other, like, kids or young people? What is he talking about? Is he the type who will keep a job? You know? Is he the type going to treat you well over the long term? Because trust me, when it's that short term, the sex thing, please, we all, and I've been there. I know it. We ignore a lot of stuff because we ain't thinking long term. But I know a lot of y'all want that hubby and everything, so you need to be thinking about it. Think about your long-term choices. This is very key. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all. Think on what I'm saying. Peace.